Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be going through a guide on how to speedrun Goosebumps the game for the PC category. If you're on console, the only thing that changes is the controls. Everything else is the same. The reason I'm making this video is because this game is not very popular to speedrun, and so there isn't really a guide out. So if anyone's interested in it, they can go here, and I hope this will be of some use. I myself have the 4th place record for the PC category. I will be going over my own strategies as well as strategies that were used on the world record run that might have been different from mine and are probably better as a result. So, without further ado, let's begin. I have this save here. I'm actually going to delete it real quick because I'm going to be saving periodically throughout the game. Don't save in the speedrun, but I'm just going to be doing it so I can demonstrate things over and over. You can name your character whatever you want. It doesn't affect the text scrolling speed. And then also you can pick whatever gender you want. It doesn't affect anything. But the timer does start right as you pick your gender. And right where you're going to do that, as soon as you pick your gender, you're going to start mashing escape until the cutscene is over. To skip that opening cutscene. And then right when it says the next day, you're going to start mashing E, and you're going to bring your cursor up and to the right to enter the school. So I'm going to show you that at full speed real quick. And then, right when you enter the school, every time you enter a room in this game, you do have to mash, because there's going to be text every time. As soon as you get in here, you're going to press E to quick interact with the key. You're going to left-click on 402, that's your locker. Mash through, grab your cell phone, mash in the voicemail, and make sure, as you're mashing, position your cursor down to exit the school. That's a big thing you have to do throughout this game, is moving your cursor as text is going, so that you're going faster. This game does a lot of convenient things for speedrunning, and one of them is that you can move your cursor during text, so that is an important thing. Get yourself into the parking lot here, mash the text, and head right into this pathway. Instantly quick interact with this weed killer, and then head back. Head off to the left into the woods. And with these cursor mashes, by the way, you're not going to get them perfect every single time. You have to probably run this game for thousands of hours. And most people don't have time for that, to get every single mouse input perfectly. So, you know, if you're mashing around and like, oh, you're missing a couple times before you get it, it's fine. Just try to get into the general area and then slide it over just as needed. Even though world record run doesn't have perfect cursor inputs every single time. You're going to get them perfect sometimes, and imperfect others is no big deal. Nothing in this room, progress to the path. Again, at full speed, just always be mashing and progressing. E into the weed killer, click the plant man, and then forward. Head off to the right here, and then to the right again, over to the moving van. Collect the shrunken head, that's going to be used to kill the beast from the east, and then bring your cursor right instead of left to get out, because they go to the same place and it saves like probably half a second. It's kind of a nerd thing, but I mean, you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but it's technically faster. And then back out. You're going to head into the pipe here. Make sure that you bring it up more than you think you have to. It's better to like mash a little bit up too high than to accidentally click into the rabbit's cutscene, because he takes a little bit of time, and it's probably more time than you would normally do. So, progress to the pipe here, head up the splash over to the right, and then you'll get into this very brief cutscene with the dog. Nothing to skip there. Once that's over, try to position your cursor around this location, maybe on the yellow house a little bit, and hit this mailbox here. And then once this window pops up, E into the letter, and then position your cursor towards the right, right-click to shut it, and then instantly E into the backyard, lining it up with this purple house here in between your house and the neighbor's house. And then once you're in here, E to get the shovel, and then you'll notice that you can't E into the hole because there's only one verb and it's to look. E is the speed interact button for using or taking something. It doesn't work for just looking. So for that, you have to press Q if you want to quick interact with it. There's a couple of those throughout the game, not nearly as many as ones that you use E for. But you're going to press Q to look at the hole, and then you can E to shake the can, and E to grab the key, and then just head back out. Slide over to the right. The lady should be gone by this point. Use your new key, and left-click on the door to the house, and go in. It's going to be empty. You're going to back out, and head back in so that you spawn the ghost children. And then this is a very precise part of the game. While their cutscene is playing, set your cursor to the right. Pick up the letter, give it to the boy on the left, and then drag your cursor over to the basement door so you can instantly get in there once it unlocks, because his disappearance unlocks it. Head down here, there's a few important things here. You're going to instantly open the door, grab the step ladder, the hanger, and then you do have to click and press search on the toolbox because you can't look at it. Looking at it doesn't do anything for you, so pressing Q doesn't do anything, and you can't take it because it's old toolbox. So for this one, neither Q nor E works, so you do have to click and then press search. And then E on this little level right here of the infinity foot, which is your fast travel throughout the game. We'll get to that later. Once you're back out here, head forward into the dining room. You're going to see Aunt Dahlia, ignore her, and go to the living room. Then as soon as you're here, E onto the grandfather clock, grab your screwdriver, and click on the 1988 tab. You'll hear a scream, that is the ghost girl disappearing. Push forward into the laundry room. Pop open this infinity foot right here. It's these double gray doors to the right of the bathroom door and to the left of the back door. Pop that open. Make sure you don't go into it because that's a time loss. Go back to the den. Backtrack all the way, and then you're going to slide right into the kitchen. There's a lot of things you have to do here, so the order doesn't matter necessarily. This is just the order that I do them in. I grab the hanger, left click on the garbage disposal to get the study key. Then, this is optional. You could either pop open the top drawer and grab the talisman or omit it. It basically is just, if you have the talisman, you're guaranteed to pass through an RNG-based section of the game completely unfazed. If you don't have it, you're just rolling that you could die uncontrollably. The world record run does not use a talisman to save probably around a second, and he just kept restarting, I'm assuming, until he got through that section just by happenstance. So it's really up to you. My 4th place run, I do grab the talisman. Next, pop open the top of the fridge. Can I? Oh, that was the wrong. Pop open the fridge, grab this jug of purple liquid here. Do not grab the jelly jam. Open the cupboard under the sink, grab the screwdriver, and then make sure you're on the bottom right screw. This is a very, like, minimal time save, but it is all 4 screws do the same thing. And the bottom right one is the closest, so that's the one you should use. So you're gonna click, and then head down the middle into this, like, sewer area. And then this part is just memorization. The pathing to get to where you need to be in this segment is forward, 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 right, forward, right, forward, forward, forward. And that's 9 items to memorize, and it sounds like a lot, but you can do it kind of in chunks if you just think about it as, like, right, forward, right, and it's, like, sandwiched between 2 triple forwards. It makes it easier to memorize. You're memorizing less things. That's how I remember it anyways. So let's execute forward, and then just mash E because you should have your cursor positioned. Forward 3 times, and then make sure you slide your cursor over to the right as quickly as possible. Down the side passageway, back to the forward position. 1 more right. And then bring your cursor back to the center, and then again, just mash because you're going forward the rest of the time. And I moved my cursor, shouldn't have done that. Once you're in the last room, you're going to mash the text and press E into this bag. You're going to get a chess piece and a key useless, or the chess piece is useless rather, the key's useful. Then a cutscene plays, the monster blood's gonna pop out. Then it's at this point you gotta start backing out. You gotta be hasty because it's a speedrun, obviously, but you do want to make sure that your cursor is low enough on the screen where you're backing out. You have this door symbol here, because if you E into the monster blood, you're gonna die. So you gotta make sure you don't do that. And then this is the most boring part of the run. You're literally just clicking E, and it's just the only time save is how quickly can you press E. That's literally it. So you're just gonna keep mashing. And then you can keep your cursor even in the same position when you reach the kitchen, because you'll be backing out of that room too. Right there. And then here's the Aunt Dahlia segment. This is the first of 4 interactions where you have to worry about dialogue options. These are just pure memorization. So you gotta E into Aunt Dahlia. Here's the dialogue sequence. By the way, you can use your arrow keys and enter to select the dialogue options faster. You can click, but it's a little bit slower. But for new runners, I'd probably recommend clicking because it's safer. You're less likely to have to reset because you're not going to do like flicking arrow keys and enter at like a blinding speed. If you're going for the world record, though, you're going to have to use the keys. There's really no way around it. Or you're going to have to, yeah. You're going to have to use the keys. So the first dialogue, you can memorize this as like a left-right if you think that way. But I'm just going to go over the options as they are. The first dialogue option you need to pick is Give Kiss. And then you got to go with Decline. Always decline the drink because you die if you drink it. Then you go with Suspicious, so back to left. And then you accept it. That's a left again. Then you obviously decline. Then you nod, so you stay on the right here. Again, for my left-right people. And then this time, this game tries to trick you. The decline is on the left this time for some reason. You just got to make sure you're aware of that. On the third decline, it's on the left, but you are always declining. And then the last one is you're going to continue, and then she falls asleep. You have to make sure you press let her sleep. If you press wake her up, I would reset, because you just lost like 20 seconds. Once she's sleeping, head over, grab the purple liquid, and make sure you position it correctly. Then left click on the glass. And then position your cursor around where her abdomen is so that you can grab the cassette optimally. And then back out. And then you're going to see the kid here. You're just going to ascend the stairs for now. I went back out of the house by accident. You're going to see the kid here. Ascend the stairs to your left. And then head over to the left hallway. You want to make sure your cursor is pretty far over to the left. If it's beyond this this railing here, you're going to go into the right hallway by accident, which you don't want to do yet. Left hallway here. What I do now is I grab the study key and I pop the study open. You can do it after you go in the bedroom or before, it does not matter. Head into the bedroom though, before you go into the study, in any case. Open the door to your bathroom. Then you're gonna hit the faucet on the shower and on the sink. And then you're gonna open the top drawer, grab the hand mirror, and then press Q on the numbers that will appear in the mirror. The game will memorize the message for you and put it on the computer so that you can enter the password. Head back into the... Oh my goodness, I keep misclicking. Into the study. And then as I said, the game memorizes it for you. What you want to do is E into the computer sort of towards the middle, and if you did it correctly, like I just did, not to do my own horn, your cursor will automatically be on music, and you can just click on music very efficiently. Then you're going to do, for some reason, the E button doesn't work to use the cassette here. I don't know if this was a mistake by the developers. There's just fully a use command, but E doesn't work. So you have to click and then press use. And then you slide it over, and with it in hand, click on search. Then you're going to download it, and then you're just going to spam back at every other menu, and then head out. All the way back down the stairs, keep your cursor in the same spot. Then slide over to your phone, and do not press E, because if you press E, it opens the call menu, which will be useful later, but not now. You're just going to click, and then go with use. Click on the kid, and he'll start dancing, and then you'll hear an unlocking sound effect, and that is your parents' bedroom. And I accidentally went into the wrong hallway. You're going to go to the right hallway this time. The more decrepit hallway. Head off to the right here into your parents' bedroom. Open this closet right here, and then hop into the first infinity foot. This is the fast travel. So you got to memorize these fast travels. This one heads back to the laundry room, which is where you want to be. Let's go back though. This one will take you to the basement, and then this one takes you back to your parents' bedroom. Parents' bedroom, basement, laundry room. The order if you prefer to memorize it like this, you only have to. It's sort of you could memorize like the order in which you're doing it, like left, right, middle, that kind of thing. But this will take you to the laundry room. And then you can use the bathroom key, click, and E into it. Mash the text, E this cupboard, grab this container, back out. Through the same door again, and then over to the right where which is the fast travel back to your parents' bedroom. Then from here, you're going to E onto this window. The window will pop up. Grab the container. Make sure you click on the saliva and not the gargoyle. Fill up the bottle, and then mash out, and then enter the attic, which is straight ahead. And then here, what you want to do is grab the screwdriver and then click on the pipe. Let the monster blood cutscene play. Again, make sure you're positioning your cursor kind of up here. You don't want it too low when you're mashing, because you'll E into the monster blood and get yourself killed. Then here, some runners will put the stepladder down while the monster blood is active, and some will use the container first. It doesn't matter. Again, it's the same time either way. Click the container here on the monster blood. It will dry it out. Turn it gray. Then E into the stepladder, and then mash E through all this. There will be a couple cutscenes with the stepladder coming down. Don't worry about that. In this room, use the hand mirror on the invisible boy. Left click. And then as soon as you get through, Q onto the book to look at it, and then E to grab it. The game forces you to look at it for some reason. Okay, once you get back downstairs, this is where Chad's gonna show up. This is the quickest part of the game. You're gonna press E, Enter, and Shift all at the same time to mash as quickly as possible, because the reason you press Enter is because there are dialogue options here, but it doesn't matter what you say. Make sure you position your cursor off to the right so that you can instantly go into the basement. And then let's see if I got it right here. Just again, E, enter, and shift all at once. I went way too far to the right. But try to get that optimally. Try to land that right there. But you see how quickly you can mash there. I was even mashing a little bit slowly, to be honest. Head in here. Back to the parents' bedroom. This time you're going to open the chest and get the birth certificate, because Chad believes that he is not your parents' kid. Head into the basement here, the middle one. Ascend the stairs. Hand him the birth certificate with left click. And then position your cursor towards the bottom of the screen to leave the house. I'm going to save here, just in case there's other methods I want to show. E onto Chad. And then just start clicking here. All these dialogue options are on the left. You can use enter or the click here. I don't even think there's a time save there. I would honestly click because it probably is more safe. Like I said, it's more safe than arrow entering. But it's usually slower. In this case, though, it's not, because every single option you need is on the left. So, head into the woods, and if you picked up the talisman, you are good to go for this section. You won't die to the plant man. If you didn't, though, you're going to have to reset on the off chance, or not even off chance, on the likely chance that he kills you. Off to the right here is the beast from the east, Shrunken Head. You could also use the Haunted Mask, but I find the Shrunken Head to be a little bit more convenient personally, because you have to go to the moving van to despawn the kids that are surrounding the fight anyways. So, why not just pick it up there? Use it on the beast, he'll run away. Pick up the shovel, click on this little uneven dirt here, and then grab the key card, back out, and spam again. If you don't have the talisman, you'll probably die and you'll have to reset. E onto Chad. The dialogue choices are let's go, the mall, and then ready. And then you're going to go through this way. Actually, I'm going to save here at mall. I want to like demonstrate like different kinds of RNG for the Murphy. I don't know if it actually reloads it or not, but we'll see. So what you're going to do, you're going to grab the key card, click on the card reader, and then insta-mash in. E, enter, and shift. Actually, just E and shift is fine, but mash this Murphy cutscene, and then you got to wait for him to leave here. If you don't, he'll kill you. And then once he's gone, you can go here, press forward, and then this section of the game is very RNG dependent, because basically Officer Murphy will lurk around the mall at will, and if he's in the room ahead of you, you can't go into that room or else he kills you, and if he's behind you, you gotta back out and go back in. Again, otherwise he'll kill you. So, very RNG dependent. You probably want a perfect mall, RNG-wise, if you want to get a PB or a world. If you want to get a world record, definitely want to get a perfect mall. Getting one Murphy thing, getting one instance of needing to back out because of Officer Murphy isn't necessarily a reset. It's kind of personal preference. I'd say if you get more than one, though, definitely reset. In my last recording of this, where I messed up some things at the end, which caused me to re-record this video, I got horrendous Murphy RNG, which is actually pretty good for the demonstration aspect of it. But anyways, you're going to go right to the food court, assuming that he's not there. Food court, he's not here, so this is perfect RNG so far. You're going to head into the phone booth room, E into the phone book, and make sure you memorize Goulberg, because that is R.L. Stein's number. Head back to the food court, and I got a perfect Murphy RNG. The main things you got to watch out for him to be right here in this phone booth room. Watch out for him to be behind you right here in the food court, and watch out for him in Cavity City. That's the most obvious one. He's literally just like standing right there. He can see you, by the way. This game is like stupid in a lot of ways. Anyway, oh my goodness, he just spawned. I'm not even joking. He literally just appeared on my screen mid-thing. I almost eat into it and died. That would have been funny. So in this instance, you got to back out now. See, he's in front of here, and then you go back, and then he's gone. That's how you do that. So that was a slightly imperfect one. That was literally because I waited, though. Now here is, I call R.L. Stein here in Cavity City. The world record run calls him in the bookstore, which is the next room. It doesn't matter which one you do. But use E here, because that brings up the call menu. Click the question marks, dial, then mash like there's no tomorrow to get through here. E onto the plastic bag, and then the candies you want to do is right here. This one, skip the taffy, go pretzels, peanut butter cups, and then down left to the sugar caps right here. So full speed, this is what it looks like. Oh, I doubled up on. Hang on. Gotta empty it. Doubled up on chocolate pretzels there by accident. Peanut butter cups. And then the sugar caps right here. And then you'll know you did it right because you can open the scale here with E. E into the bag, left click, and it should be $7.30 worth of candy, 0.73 pounds. And then this door will open here. Slot yourself into the bookstore. Mash through this text, and then Q onto this dummy right here because you have to look at him. And it's faster than clicking and pressing look. Mash through, and then just wait. Slappy will pop up. It'll be kind of a jump scare if you do the game. There he is. And then there are 2 paths for this. If you see bold and tricky as your options, just jump off a bridge because that means you didn't call Arlstein. But if you did it right, you'll see give name and don't give name. There are 2 paths though. If you go give name, I don't know how to help you. I haven't memorized that path to be quite honest. I do the don't give name path, so that's what I'm going to go over this tutorial. I believe the world record run uses the give name path, so you can like slow it down and look at what he picks if you want to. Don't give name. Then you're going to click stammer it out. Again, use arrow enter here. I'm just doing it for demonstration. Then you're going to go sincere. Staying on the right. You're going to go Y. Distract him. Again, staying on the right. Spin it. Just stalling. Made you look. And then you can mash, fight back, and then mash at full speed because you've won the game. And just keep mashing, let go of the keyboard, and it's time right as the white screen appears. So, time right there. And then that's the run. So it's a pretty simple run. There are no real like glitches or huge, gigantic skips that you go through, except the one thing I forgot to mention is you skip a very plot-important cutscene in the living room by using the Infinity Foots, so that's like the main reason people use those, along with just like it's slightly faster than going downstairs and upstairs over and over. But yeah, it's just about like cursor positioning and just like logic and hacking, and that's really it. So I hope at least one person finds this video useful if they want to run Goosebumps, and that will be all from me, so happy running.